So today I'm going to talk to you about the cost of living in Malaysia. Now I've been here for a month. I've got a pretty good idea of what you're looking for. Not only, you know, if you've got children or if you haven't got children, if you're single, the areas that you should live in, what the pricing is, and how much money realistically you need to survive in Malaysia. So let's take it from location. So I've bought a house in Malacca. I still like Malacca. I've been to Penang, I've been to Langkawi, I've been to Kedah. I've driven like from one end to the other end of Malaysia, I can say as good as, almost. It was like a 7-hour road trip and observed many places along the way. So KL is city. It's comparable to central London. It is busy. It's pretty. There's everything you can possibly imagine or want. You can find it in KL. Whether it's a food, whether it's an activity, if you want it day or night, it is available to you. We spoke about downloading apps. You can get food at any point. You could just be out at any point. You get a massage at 3 a.m. Do you know what I mean? It is that alive. So if you want that kind of vibe, you're single, you're young, you're a couple, no kids, I'd say KL is a great starting point and experience. Then, of course, when you have your children and you are looking for a bit more family complex, you might want a house rather than a condo, and you want good schools within vicinity. Then your next choice of area is the likes of Shah Alam and Selangor. They're on the outskirts of KL. And you're probably about half an hour to an hour out. That's where you're going to find them. Anyhow, they're probably like the 3 top places that you can live when it comes to schooling, because they have got probably the biggest range of schools, because they've got like not only the international, not only the Chinese, not only the Malaysian, but they also have the international Islamic. And I feel like that's where I missed the boat a bit. However, I think, you know, my choice of home isn't going to be based on my child's schooling, because Malacca has got great international schools, and I'm going to do a tour of one very, very soon. Actually, hopefully this week or next week. The reason like I chose my area is because of the pricing, because it's quite quiet, it's not too busy, and there's a good mix of everything, but the cost is really good to live in Malacca. Selangor and Shah Alam and KL, you're going to be paying a few extra bucks. I'll give you a simple explanation. An example is, if you want to buy a house as a foreigner in Shah Alam, in Selangor or KL, you have to buy a property for 2 million or above. Whereas you drive hour and a half, hour and 40 down the road to Malacca, and you only have to spend £1 million. And that equates to about £183,000. And to buy a condo, and I'm telling you, the condos are decent, the blocks are decent, the facilities within the blocks, the management, the cleanliness, all of it. I would live in a block. If it was just like I was at a different stage of my life, I would live in one of those condos, because, you know, they've got gyms, they've got pools, they've got really great organisation, and it's a nice lifestyle. You must have seen my video that I did recently for the 2-bedroom apartment that I did an Airbnb on in KL. I could probably live there. So coming back to then the locations. Now, dependent on obviously where you want to be, but KL, Shah Alam and Selangor, they're going to be your main areas if you've got children, young family, young couples, that kind of thing, and singles. If you're looking for somewhere to retire, then I would say you've got Kedah, and you've got Pahang, and you've got Sarawak. Sarawak is like, I didn't even know this, right? You've got Malaysia here, and then you've got this like peninsula, and then you've got Sarawak, and you've got Sarawak and I've forgotten the other name. Sabah? Sabah, Sarawak. And then Sabah and Sarawak's there, and the Philippines are there. Do you know what I mean? Like literally all these beautiful, beautiful places are so close to one another. So Sarawak is part of Thailand, and it's beautiful, it's a coastal town, and that's an ideal retirement. Then you've got places like Kedah. Now, I visited Kedah. Kedah was noticeably ruralish farming with a touch of, you could say, urban edge. So you've got like some flats, blocks, pretty blocks, nice blocks. But then you've got some really big farmhouses that I saw. Remember, as a foreigner, you are restricted at the amount of land that you can buy, which is a shame, but it is what it is, right? You can't buy more than, I can't remember how many square feet it is, specified. I will find out the details, but that's one thing that you're gonna need to know. You just can't buy a certain amount of land or above. Okay, so locations, where to live, determine how much money you are going to need. So that goes neatly into employment, right? So bearing in mind, I have my little notebook here, and I have done all of this research to save you the time to have to do it. So you can go from the bottom up, right? And if you find a job, now you could come here and you could find a job. Job hunt, CVs, handing them out. There's so many malls with admin type jobs, with retail jobs, with barista jobs. There's so much that you could apply for, even by just coming here, and then the employer will apply for your employment visa. So let's dig in deeper, shall we? We've got the likes of a single person will need 2,700 ringgits a month to live off of, right? Now that will include your rent and your utilities and your travel and your taxes. Note, you can earn, I think it was 34,000 pounds, 34,000 ringgits per annum, so just over 3,000 per month. I'm sure it was like 2,800 or 3,000 ringgits per month you can earn before you pay tax. And an added bonus, they let you take deductions off. Even as an employed person, you are allowed to make deductions for travel, for clothing, for computers, for telephones, for yourself, but you can also take it as deductions for your kids. But that's probably why they've made the allowance so big. So 2,700, single person, that's all you're going to need cost of living. So as a single person, looking for the baseline jobs, minimum wage is 21 ringgits per hour. You put the hours in, you're going to rack up the ringgits, right? Whereas, as a single person, you can get a job of admin and earn 2,500, which is 30,000 per year, tax-free. You can have a job as a barista, and you can earn 2,230, which is 26,000 per annum, tax-free. Warehouse work, like unskilled labor, you're talking 2,500 per month. If you want to be a driver, a good job, earns you 3,200. So they're like the single wages. But if you're a couple, you're likely to need 4,500 to live off of, to cover the likes of your rent and your utilities, your food, fully, cost of living, 4,500 ringgits per month as a couple, right? Then you've got your couples with 2 kids. You're going to need 6,500. So either 2 of you work, and that includes your school fees as well. So either 2 of you work and have a baseline job like drivers, yeah, or you aspire to getting another job that's going to pay you more. And that's where you go towards skilled and professional, where the salaries go up to 4,000, 6,000, even 10,000 ringgits per month, if not more than that. I spoke to somebody recently who's from the UK. His UK firm is based in Malaysia, so he's asking for an internal transfer, and he was asking me, for him and his wife, would 20,000 ringgits be enough? And I'm like, you're going to live the life. Let me just work that out. 3,000 pounds, because 20,000 ringgits per month, 6,000 ringgits is 1,000 pounds. So 3,000 pounds is what he's expecting to earn. So if you look at my house, I'm paying 3,000 ringgits for a 5-bedroom, beautiful, big furnished house. And that can easily be 2,500, 2,700. So if you bear that in mind, if he's earning 20,000 ringgits a month, the guy is going to be having a luxury life. If you look at like food shopping, so let me wind back to me and what my budget and my expenses are. You've got my 3,000 is my rent. My water will be circa, I mean, the water isn't even so negligible, you can't even count it. It's like 12 ringgits a month, it's like £2 for your water, which I know I'm converting it to pounds and if you were doing it in ringgits, but still, trust me, it's negligible compared to the utilities that you pay in the UK. That's one of the biggest differences here, is that you will not be slammed for car insurance, hefty premiums. They don't do it that way. They work it out on the value of your car. If you've got a cheap car, your insurance is going to be cheap. Your road tax is cheap. There's no council tax. You've got even your income tax. You know, you've got allowances. It ranges from 0 to 28% for foreigners, right? Me, I come under a certain category I'm yet to establish, but I could be 15% tax. I'm quite happy paying 15% tax on the income that I earn compared to the UK, which goes to 40 and 50 ridiculous percent, puts me off of even working. You know, and my council tax was £280 a month. My road tax was hefty. My car insurance was hefty. I just think, you know, you need a decent cost of living for you to actually just need to work for you to live, rather than you living to work to survive, which is where, I mean, it's everywhere. I know it's difficult for us. You know, there's plenty of opportunities here. There's plenty of work. There's plenty of, you know, you can aspire to improve your life. You can develop yourself. You can still further study because the education standards are really good. There's companies that take interns, apprenticeships. It is no different to the UK, trust me. And English speakers, obviously, if you can learn Malay, you be doing yourself a favor, big time. If you know Mandarin and you know English, even so many more opportunities. But even if you just know English, I was looking online. There's two places to look. One is called Job Street, and go on to Indeed. And all you do is at the top, you put in your location, Malaysia, and bang, out come the jobs. So for example, I found a part-time English tutor, 12 hours a week, I think it was. And the salary was £280 per month, which comes to, say, 280 is 612. Let's call it 1,800 ringgits. Now, if a single person needs 2,700, that includes your rent, right? 1,800 ringgits to work 12 hours a week is cozy. And then you get to live, you know. Cautious, dependent on the lifestyle that you want. We've covered off lifestyle, location and living. But let's talk about lifestyle, because you have the ability to have a really good lifestyle here. Obviously, you've got the weather, and because the weather is good, it means that you're going to spend a lot of time out and about doing things and wanting to do things as well. So just in case you're wondering, it's Ramadan, it is Taraweeh, and that in the background is the prayers that are happening in the mosques right now. And I'm in Klabang in Malacca. So anyhow, going on to lifestyle, there are so many opportunities for you to enjoy yourself, so many things to do, so many Guinness World Book of Records broken in Malaysia, I can't tell you. And you'll want a road trips, you know, so you want to get yourself a decent car. You can finance if you want, that's another really good thing. And I'm going to do a separate video on finance with mortgages, halal finance. And I'll tell you something else which was really awesome. There's like a lot of the houses, they have these water coolers, and the cooler has hot water, room temperature, and then cold, and it plugs in and you feed the water from the tap in, filters it, you know, and you can rent it for 10 ringgits a month, right? Or you can buy it for 3,700, and it covers over like a 5-year period. But guess what? At the end of it, you've purchased it. So it's not a rent where you don't acquire something. It's a rent where you end up buying. So you're renting to buy, which I think is a pretty cool thing to do, because your money is not just given away for nothing, you know? Anyhow, that's the end of today's talk, discussion. Any questions you've got, feel free to DM me. If you've enjoyed what I have shared with you, give me a thumbs up, a like and a share, please, so that I can share this with everybody else, because so many of you are reaching out wanting to just change your life up a little bit. And I get you. I did too. I've been working on this for about a year, and I'm going to give you as much information as I can of what I learned during that year, so you can fast forward your journey to a better life. Like and share and comment, guys. Thank you for watching. And for those of you that want to know, I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to earn money in pounds so that you can spend it here and have that fantastic lifestyle. £1 is equal to 6 ringgits. So imagine what you can do with that multiple of income. And I'm going to give you a few of my secrets on how to make money so that you can have the lifestyle that I'm enjoying right now.